Good morning, and welcome to another insightful session on the Forensic Accounting and Investigation Standards issued by the icai. Today, we will cover a core pillar of forensic investigations, FAIS 320, Evidence and Documentation. In forensic engagements, the credibility of the conclusions rests entirely on how well the evidence is gathered, analyzed, and documented. This standard guides us on precisely how to do that. First, we will discuss Objective of FAIS 320. This standard aims to ensure that forensic professionals collect, evaluate, maintain, and document evidence in a manner that supports their findings, withstands scrutiny, and complies with professional and legal requirements. Next is Importance of Evidence in Forensic Assignments. Evidence forms the foundation of all conclusions and reports in forensic engagements. The quality, relevance, and admissibility of evidence often determine the outcome of legal proceedings or internal decisions. Types of evidence in forensic investigations include financial records, emails and communications, contracts and agreements, system logs and audit trails, interviews and witness statements, physical or digital artifacts. Next area is Principles for Handling Evidence under FAIS 320. Standard prescribes the following key principles for managing evidence. First, relevance and reliability. Evidence should directly support the scope and objectives of the engagement. Professionals must assess whether the evidence is complete, authentic, and accurate. Second, integrity and preservation. Maintain the original form of the evidence to the extent possible. Use appropriate tools to prevent data tampering or destruction. Ensure continuity of custody. Third, legal admissibility. Understand the legal framework regarding what constitutes admissible evidence. Avoid collecting evidence in ways that violate privacy laws or court procedures. Fourth, chain of custody. Record every movement or handling of evidence to establish authenticity and prevent claims of manipulation. Maintain logs with timestamps, handlers, purpose of access, and location of storage. Fifth, confidentiality. Handle sensitive evidence with strict adherence to confidentiality protocols. Store documentation securely, physical or digital, with access controls. Now it's time for documentation requirements under FAIS 320. As per this standard, all forensic professionals must maintain comprehensive and contemporaneous documentation of nature and source of the evidence, date and method of collection, persons involved in collection, examination and custody, tools and techniques used for analysis, observations and inferences drawn, limitations, if any. Tip: your working papers should be clear enough that another qualified professional could understand the steps taken and reach similar conclusions. Next point is legal and ethical considerations. FAIS 320 places strong emphasis on legal compliance and professional ethics, such as avoiding coercion or misrepresentation to obtain evidence, respecting data protection laws and client confidentiality, ensuring that digital evidence is forensically sound and legally defensible. Now we will discuss a real-world application. Scenario: a company suspects fictitious vendor payments. As a forensic professional, you are tasked with gathering and analyzing relevant proof. How FAIS 320 applies. Extract vendor payment reports from the ERP system using forensically sound tools. Capture system metadata, for example, timestamps, user IDs. Interview procurement staff with signed consent forms. Store evidence in encrypted folders with access logs. Document all procedures in an indexed evidence file. This approach aligns with best practices and legal defensibility as required by FAIS 320. Next point is tools and techniques. FAIS 320 does not mandate specific tools, but expects professionals to use appropriate and validated forensic techniques. These may include disk imaging and data carving tools, for example, EnCase, FTK, document examination techniques, e.g., ink and handwriting analysis, email and metadata extraction tools, evidence tagging, and chain of custody logs. Now, key takeaways for CA students and professionals. Evidence must be relevant, reliable, and legally defensible. Document everything, from collection to conclusion. Chain of custody and confidentiality are non-negotiable. Use professional skepticism when analyzing evidence. Proper documentation protects both your findings and your professional liability. In last conclusion, to summarize, FAIS 320, Evidence and Documentation, establishes the bedrock of a professionally executed forensic engagement. It ensures that every conclusion you reach is backed by proper, traceable, and admissible evidence. Remember, in the courtroom or boardroom, your report is only as strong as the evidence that supports it, and how well you have documented it. Thanks.